Now I know how the guy that went after Martin Luther King felt. That was really good. That was good. What an honor to be here. And let me start off with, does anyone have a grape? Just shoot it on up here. I want to thank everyone who voted for me. Excellent choice. Thank you, of course, to Paul Johnson. Without Paul Johnson, I would not be here tonight. Absolutely would not be here tonight. Round of applause for Mr. Johnson. And I certainly would not have all the cool stuff I've been able to get over the years. That's the guy that's made my life possible right there by giving me a great opportunity. Like a line in the Alan Jackson song, and Paul said it earlier, I grew up on Long Island. And for a teenager in the late 70s, rock and roll was pretty much the music you listened to. And I would go out to the clubs with my friends and we'd watch Twisted Sister and bands like that. But when I came home, my mom and dad had every stinking radio set to WHN and Lee Arnold. And I was probably the only teenager at the club with Twisted Sister that knew all the words to Is Anyone Going to San Antone? In 1980, I turned 20, and with my mom and dad, we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And a few months later, in January of '81, I was driving down Independence Boulevard in Charlotte in my red 73 Cuda with my pistol grip 4-speed listening to the radio, thinking that I could do that. So I pulled over and I got into a phone booth and I called the radio station and talked to the DJ that was on the air and I asked him how he got in the radio. And he told me, and I followed the same path, and 5 months later, I was running Bob Kingsley's American Country Countdown on WSOC FM 103. And sometimes during the show they let me do the weather, which was a pretty cool deal for me. I stayed at WSOC for 16 and a half years, eventually becoming the morning guy. While I was there, I also started co-hosting Racing Country with Kathy Martindale, who's here tonight. Appreciate you being here, Kath. It's on over 300 radio stations, and I've been doing that for 17 years. Very proud of that. At the end of '97, I was presented with a wonderful opportunity for me and the family at Crosstown WKKT FM 103, KKT 96.9 The Cat. And for some nutty, wacky, thank you Jesus reason, I was not under contract. So 2 weeks of vacation, and we moved the show on over to The Cat, where I have lived happily ever after for the last 16 and a half years. It's hard to believe that I'm here tonight accepting and getting inducted into the Country Radio Hall of Fame. We were talking about the Hall of Fame with the kids on the way here tonight. And I was explaining the difference in Hall of Fames in sports and most other Hall of Fames. When you get inducted, when you get in, your best years are behind you. And it's almost completely the opposite with the Country Radio Hall of Fame, where you still have 10, 20, maybe 30 years of high-paying, highly productive years ahead of you. You hearing that, Rod? Is Rod paying attention to that? I also want to thank Clay Honeycutt. And this is kind of a cool deal. If you still have your dessert plate, look under. If you have a red dot, you're going to get the entire Ronnie Dunn catalog. So you can take a check on that. If you get a blue dot, you get my new book, Country Music Broke My Colon. I do want to take a second out to thank my friends from Clear Channel who have just made my life wonderful. It's a fantastic company to work for, and sometimes they get a bad rap, but not from me. And I want to tell you a quick little story about something they did I thought was very, very nice, and they never took credit for it, and I can't really prove it, but I got a good feeling about this. About a year ago, somebody high up in the company, could have been Rod, it could have been Clay, could have been Pittman, found out I was 0 for 7 when it came to CMAs and ACMs. They started a syndicated country morning show solely to cut down on the amount of people that I would have to compete against. And it worked. So we get off the plane today and bingo bango, we are the ACM Major Market Radio Personalities of the Year. Thank you, Clear Channel. No one here tonight gets there here on their own, and I do want to thank a bunch of people. As a 21-year-old kid without much experience, the late Don Bell hired me, and I appreciate that and eternally grateful. Rita Thorne, who was the GM at the Cat in '97 and convinced me to make a big move. Bill Ellis, who currently does mornings in Greenville, South Carolina, a great guy who never seemed to get tired of my questions or having me around. Thank you, Bill. And I want to thank the many people that are here tonight that I've worked with over the years. Just a few, Bruce, Ryan, Val, Mark, some family members. Cousin Robin drove in, my sister Diane, and her little boy DJ. DJ also happens to be the OM at Crosstown WSOC FM 103, which is kind of incestuous, but I appreciate the family being here. I also would like to thank my mom up in heaven, who I know would be very proud of me today. My dad back in Charlotte, who instilled a couple of simple things. Work hard and be nice, and they've both worked out pretty good for me. Thank the greatest listeners back home in the Carolinas, who have let me into their life and let me do what I love for so long. I want to thank Jeff White, OM at the Cat, and also market manager Charlie Wilkinson. A couple of good guys that work hard every day to make everyone a little bit better. I appreciate y'all. I want to thank the people I've shared the control room with over the last 3 decades. Bill, Cindy O'Day, Claire, Shannon, Sarah Waterrose, and especially Meg Butterly. Hello, Meg. My little sweetie pie over there. Meg hopefully will be here until we start hanging up the headphones many years from now. And she makes it fun every day to get up and go to work. Right. It's not work. Just don't tell the bosses how much fun we're having. If there was a Hall of Fame for producers, my friend Jeff Knight would be the first in. Jeff and I started together in the fall of '97, and he made the move to the Cat with me. And someday, when I'm in a nursing home, he will gladly lay at my feet and slowly pass away moments after I do. Thank you, Jeff. Well, tonight is definitely the highlight of my professional career, without a doubt. Hall of Fame, the ACM all on the same day. The highlight of my personal life is sitting right there at the table. My beautiful, smart daughter, Emily, my handsome, intelligent son, Adam, and the woman I'm so lucky to get to share my life with, my beautiful wife, Kathy. I love you guys. I love you all. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you for the honor.